I think my biggest career misstep was thinking that I should be a curator. I grew up around New York City. My parents always took us to museums. I loved objects. I thought a great career would be working with all these beautiful art objects. And so I went to school to learn to be a curator, and I got my first job, and I found out that being a curator meant working with objects and not working with people. And I thought this was an incredible mistake because I really like to collaborate with people and I love to look at them, but I just don't care that much about objects. So I hung on in that kind of role for a few years, but then ended up going back to management school and becoming more of a planning role and a management role. And I like to tell young people who are in school, don't make the mistake of thinking that the subject that you like is what you want to do. What you want to determine is how you like to work, and let that help guide your career. My husband would be surprised to hear me say that he was one of my most significant mentors. In fact, I think he would be shocked to hear me say that. But the way he's my mentor is my husband is an oncologist, and he treats many patients who are really very, very ill. I've often asked him how you cope with that, how you get through the day, and he's always said to me, and he says to me, when I have difficulty with decisions, there are some basic premises that you follow. One is you look at reality, but you maintain your cool, you gather all the information, you seek all the best advice, the best expertise you can find, but in the end, you make your own decision because it's the decision you have to rely on. Fundraising is not cold calling. It's not picking up the phone and just asking anybody for money. It's really a progressive science where you are building a relationship with someone and you are working with people who really care about what you do, who see the benefit to the community. And so it's difficult to fundraise within a recession, and so they may be giving you less than they might normally have given you, but they're still giving. And even if you find yourself like last year when people were so nervous about the economy that they wouldn't give, you really have to still continue to build relationships with people and help them to understand what it is you're working towards. I think particularly for women who are trying to balance families and careers, I'd like to be available to tell them that they need to take the long-term view, that they may not be able to do everything at once, but they have to combine living in the moment and doing what they need to for their family with keeping a long-term eye on where they are professionally. Women, unlike men, frequently think they may be able to take a linear course, but as soon as they start having children or start having to accommodate the family or their husband's careers, they have to be even more clever to bring in lots of different elements to make a composition of the various different strands that become part of their lives.